Welcome back to yet another vlogcast from your old pal Jaime here, the shut-in cartoonist musician. And yes, this is vlog 258, and we are vlogcasting still from the Corn Tortilla Press World Headquarters, located on that gem of an island that's located in the San Francisco Bay, just west of East Oakland, California, just on the other side there of the 880 freeway. Let's see, let's get to the brass tacks. This is going to be a long one. So for me, long ones are, double-digit time, but like between 10 and 13 minutes. So, I mean, if you don't have an attention span that long, that's okay with me. Anyway, last month, maybe the beginning of last month, I was invited to join a new acquaintance, somebody we've been bantering back and forth online, actually, on a mutual friend's Facebook page. And we have a lot of friends in common in both worlds of music and art, and I'm talking about none other than John Seabury. And John bestowed upon me some of his works, which is just awesome. The Psychotic Pineapple one, and of course work from one of his sketchbooks. And just the production of these are super nice. Let's just look at some of it here. John is an incredible artist and a great musician too. But his work, I'm just going to talk about his artwork right now. I mean, this stuff is like, holy beans. I mean, the lines and so forth, I just love it. It's so, I like his aesthetic. I like his sensibilities in art. Trying to find a particular picture here, because isn't it always the case when you try to find something, you can't? But anyway, yeah, John, like I said, we met. Well, we're talking online about certain things like comics, and just an agreement on a lot of stuff. And I had no idea that he was also the artist from Psychotic Pineapple, did all their posters, which I'll show you in a minute. This piece I really love in particular, because I can look at it up close, get it closer, but then you back it off. That's some prime stuff there, folks. Anyway, that's out of his sketchbook. It's The Art of John Seabury, Volume 3, Book 2, Selected Freehand Drawings, 2003 to 2005. It's the Keep On Smiling. I don't know where you can find those. But it's on Pinotic Press. That'd be a cool sticker or t-shirt too. Also, this is the stuff right here that there's Pino, his character, from his band Psychotic Pineapple. Now, for starters, I had no idea when I saw the Psychotic, and I think this is the first poster I saw. But when I first saw their poster, I had no idea that it was one of the band members that did it. Because when I was doing rock, I did a handful of posters in the punk scene, and I usually did them for bands I wasn't in. I don't think I ever did a poster for a band I was in those days. But anyway, I think this was the first one I saw of Psychotic Pineapple. And it was like around, I don't know, 78 or 79. And I don't know if I saw it in Berkeley or if I saw it in the city, the East Bay or the city. But anyway, I laughed. I mean, because, Pino's up there crucified, on the cross. And I was raised in a severely Catholic household. So it made me laugh. But nonetheless, it's his work is just incredible. I mean, how can you not like it? Excuse me. Yeah, the Berkeley Square, there you go down there. Old places too that we've either played or saw music at, or both. Of course, another one is, I love this piece. I know that's from the book I bought. There's a hardbound book with their CD in there, and gives the history of the band. And this is the front cover, and it's called Where's the Party? So anyway, John Seabury, everybody. Go look up Psychotic Pineapple. Look up John Seabury. Thank you, John. We'll have coffee soon. Speaking of which, I'm going to have my coffee. I know it's noon, and I'm having a half a cup of coffee, and I'm just about done with it, but I just need the bump. Haven't been sleeping well, not because of the coffee. All right, so that's I'm real excited about this. I meant to bring this up a few weeks ago, and I finally got around to it here on my little vlog. The next thing I want to talk about is a kind of a big one. It's the Spotify flap that's going on right now. For those of you that don't know, but maybe I'm sure everybody does, Neil Young and Joni Mitchell pulling their music from the platform Spotify because Joe Rogan is on there with his podcast, and apparently Joe Rogan has been spreading misinformation about vaxxing and COVID and whatnot. And my take on the whole thing is this. I understand where Joni and Neil are coming from. Totally do. There's nothing good about misinformation. But at the same token, it's a podcast. Yeah, sure. Thousands, if not millions of people may listen to it. But you don't have to. There's always that option. It's censorship is what I feel it is. And, it's kind of a knee-jerk reactionary thing. And, Joe Rogan's he's just there, man. He's going to be there. Be it Spotify, be it YouTube, be it wherever. He's on the planet. Same as you, same as me. Again, I don't know. The only analogy I can put is I like food. I don't mind eating. It's good for me. It keeps me alive. I don't like Brussels sprouts. But I'm not going to cancel Brussels sprouts because they're on the planet, or even if they're on the same table I'm eating on. I just won't eat them. Woo, wow, there's a revelation. So I guess because I'm bummed out, this is a selfish thing I'm bringing up. And it's selfish in the sense of me. I'm being selfish because I love Neil Young's music and I love Joni Mitchell's music. In fact, I was just listening to Joni last week or 2 weeks ago, maybe at the most. 5 or 6 albums in a row. I just love her work. And of course, I listened to Neil. I remember right around Christmas, I was listening to a bunch of Neil Young and Crazy Horse. And so now that they're not on Spotify, and here's my Spotify reasoning. Now, I know they don't pay musicians hardly anything, if anything. They have to pay them something. But all the platforms are that way. Now, I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying this is just how it is. It's the music business has never been good to the musicians. Ever. I mean, it does need to change. I mean, that's why a lot of musicians have taken stuff in their own hands. Look at Mike Watt, for instance. I mean, he has no road crew. He travels in a van with his band. They hump their stuff in and out themselves. They sell their own merch. I mean, they got a lot of control. It's a lot of work, but that's kind of how you got to do it to make a living. So I understand that. I almost overstand. But I love music. I've been a musician my whole life. I have vinyl. I still have all my vinyl. I still have all my CDs. But they're packed away like 40 miles from here across the bay in another county. They're out in Marin County in a storage unit. I haven't owned a stereo in years. And I don't have a CD player, record player. I have a CD player. It's in my truck. The truck I barely drive anymore. So, Spotify's been great for my music. That's what I listen to. I have a little Bose speaker up there. I've showed it on here before. And I have, if I'm not using that, I'll use these headphones, my Sony wireless headphones. My son bought me, like 5 years ago or something, 4 or 5 years ago for Christmas. By the way, I love them, Mickey. So, and I listen to music on Spotify. That's what I use Spotify for. I don't listen to my podcasts on Spotify. And Joe Rogan is not one of the podcasts I listen to. Now, I have listened to Joe Rogan's podcast, probably been a year or so. When I did listen to Joe Rogan, it was because he had somebody on there of interest. And it's generally, in my world, it's generally the people I want to hear is a musician or maybe a comedian. And in this case, I remember, the one that stands out is I remember listening to his interview with, because it's an interview show for those that don't know, Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins. And Billy, it was real interesting to hear Billy's take on his band, the politics, the subsequent demise of his band, how the music industry treats people, how it kind of works. It's all set up to rip you off. It was really informative, and I've listened to Bill Burr on. So like I said, it's when people I find interest in. I have nothing personal against Joe Rogan. I actually admired the fact that he went out of his way to kind of call Carlos Mencia on his bullshit. I was once a stand-up comedian for a short amount of time. I was doing pretty well at it. I just didn't like the culture. It didn't suit me. It didn't fit me. But stealing other people's bits and material is just bullshit. So I'm glad Joe was out there to call him on that. But that being said, the misinformation being cast around about the current situation just helps. I understand. I agree with Neil and Joni here and probably a lot of people that, it just helps politicize it and divide us further. But again, all you have to do, Neil and Joni, is just, why, how's that going to change anything that you guys are off there? I mean, now they're putting in a disclaimer. And I just feel it's censorship. And, 35 years ago or so, remember in the mid-'80s, we had the PMRC hearings with Tipper Gore, then Al Gore's wife, Vice President Al Gore's wife, who headed up this committee to, basically censor music, what you can listen to, what you can't, with offensive lyrics and subject matter and whatnot. I remember it was Frank Zappa was on there, and he had a great line about, if you take your kid into a music store, you don't have to take him to that. You can always turn him on to instrumental music. You know what instrumental music is? He goes like classical or jazz. And I'm cracking up, because he's right. The guy the singer from what are they called? Twisted Sister. I can't remember his name offhand. I never listened to them, but I admired the fact he was on there. A few other musicians. And, that's what it's kind of funny now. It's kind of flipped. Like when I was in high school, I remember reading Rolling Stone magazine. And they were very subversive still, them and Cream magazine, all that. They were still kind of, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I remember by the mid-'80s, I guess getting back to the PMRC, suddenly Rolling Stone magazine was, oh, that's all bad, and don't do it. And that line that keeps hopping up in my head on this too is from the frontman, the late frontman from The Clash. It's kind of applicable now. For that quote from Joe Strummer from one of his songs, he who fucks nuns will later join the church. And it kind of seems to happen, Joe saw something there and kind of pointing it out. And then, this I actually printed this up because I couldn't remember, this right there. And I'm not being patriotic or anything. I'm just saying, remember that? That's from Rock the Vote. When was that? 90s, 80s, 90s? I can't remember. It's kind of funny, though, because Joni and Neil are kind of talking about censorship. Again, I'm not a proponent for Joe Rogan. I'm just a proponent for free speech, for freedom of thought. Everyone has, at least we're led to believe, has the choice to listen to something or not. It's up to you. I don't know, man. That's my 2 cents on it. Let me know below, whatever platform you see this on, all 4 of you. Let me know what you think. I'm really curious to get other people's take. Maybe I'm off base. I don't know, but this is how I see it. Finally, my schedule here, cartooning. This is the first day of February. That came up quick. Next month, March, let's see, I'm going to be doing some comic book stuff. And not on Zoom. I'm going to be actually in far-flung places. On March 10th, 11th, and 12th, I will be at the University of Texas, Austin. Yes, I will be in Austin, Texas, for the BIPOC. It's sponsored by, it's through the Latinx Pop Lab out of the University of Texas. Of course, headed up by the man himself, Dr. Frederick Aldama, Dr. Fetty, and BIPOC, BIPOC. So I think it's by people of color as well, like including us all. And I'll be on a panel there as well, talking. So I'll be there, the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th of March. So, if you're in the Texas area and you see us, please come by, or the Austin area, because Texas is enormous. So I know if you're, way up like in, Fort Worth or something, I don't expect you to drive there. But anyway, we'll be there, and I'll be there. And it should be pretty cool. There's going to be a lot of great people there, a lot of great artwork, a lot of cool stuff. So come on in and check it out. And then at the end of the month, the 25th and 6th, which I believe is a Friday and a Saturday, at the end of March, I will be in beautiful Modesto, the sands of Modesto. I will be in Modesto, California at Modesto Junior College. Once again at the Latinx Comic Arts Festival. On both those days, I'm tabling. I'm also on the board. We have a meeting tonight, come to think of it. And come by and check it out, man. It's going to be big. It's going to be great. Keep in mind, this event, you have to be masked up and, prove you've had your shots and your booster and all that stuff. The Texas one, I'm not sure how that one works. I would recommend doing it. I'm from out of state, and, anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So that's what's going on. Wow, almost 15 minutes. This may very well be the longest vlog I have ever done. Wow, setting records, everybody. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. I like it when I hear from you, and that, we're communicating somehow out here. Be sure to hit the thumbs up. Be sure to, subscribe to this, to my little goofy channel. Also check out my website. The t-shirts, by the way, excuse me. The t-shirts I got some left. I got a decent amount, but they're going. And once I'm done, those black t-shirts with a logo, the Tortilla logo with a calaca, the skull with a Pendleton on it. Once that design's gone, I'm done with those shirts. And later in the year, I got a couple ideas for a different design that'll be in color, so I'll do different shirts. But I might even go through a print as you go kind of place. So I don't know why. I'm still in the air with that. It's just to let you know. But there's still comic books for sale and whatnot, and original art, $100. I put it on 400. The top of the line art paper, 9x12 pen and ink drawing. You can either say, hey, I want to have this and this and this, and I'll do it. Or you can say, let it rip, I want your imagination to go ahead. So, and I'll send it right to you, and it's yours. All right, everybody, that's it. I'm almost 16 minutes in just saying that. Thank you so much, man. Go out and have some fun. Be safe about it, and don't get in trouble, but if you just don't get caught. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.